Serenity is before me.
必ずや勝利を
Old-fashioned. Me. Me.
前ストライクエアこの明かりは星のエクスカイバー
Just do your thing, Sparxicle! We'll crush all the haters for you!
Oh, darn it. She's rallying her fans to attack us.
Stand down! Everyone, don't move a muscle. Imagine you're under arrest for breaking the law. Passengers of the Astral Express. I'm an officer from the Department of Aberration Defense. Don't worry, she won't be able to harm you as long as I'm here.
You meddlesome fool. Officials have no right to interfere with the supplicant's actions during the Phantasmoon Games, do they?
Only those who possess a mask can be called supplicants. You're just one of thousands of troublemakers in this land who claim to be joining the Phantasmoon Games while actually causing chaos. Plain Arcadia is a society governed by law. Any act that violates the law, even if done in the name of the Phantasmoon Games, will be severely punished by the Department of Aberration Defense.
Severely punished? You're just a lapdog of the IPC, yet you're still so full of pride. That's very funny. That's exactly what I'm saying. Plain Arcadia under the IPC's rule is boring as hell. Even the Phantasmoon Games have turned into some kiddie playdate for all the goody two-shoes. Nameless, you're free to go for now. But I'll be keeping my eyes on you. Next time we meet, I'll turn you into devoted fans. I'll make you mine.
Escaped, huh? Excuse me. I'd like to have a word with you two. Thank goodness we made it in time. Otherwise, things could have turned out pretty badly.
Don't worry. March and I don't get hurt that easily.
By saying things could have turned out pretty badly, I meant you and Miss March knocking out all of her fans. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Kuchiba, an officer from the Department of Aberration Defense.
We don't need to introduce ourselves, do we? Miss Kuchiba, you probably know who we are.
Of course. The newspapers, TV channels, they've all been reporting on you nonstop. Police dog? Ah, you mean those Wufei. They're legitimate law enforcement officers, and some of them have even more experience than I do. However, as a staff member of the Department of Aberration Defense, I have some special privileges that allow me to request their assistance. As you both know, Plain Arcadia is quite a fascinating world. Creatures made real by artists' brushstrokes, objects that unexpectedly come to life, strange dimensions hidden within paintings, and even the ground beneath our feet that occasionally trembles. This is what the Department of Aberration Defense exists for. Everything from managing supernatural anomalies to registering Imaginae and ensuring their continued existence. And of course, there's the Phantasmoon games that Sparxie just mentioned.
If I'm not mistaken, was it Mr. Scott who sent you here?
So that's the name of that high and mighty IPC specialist. This Mr. Scott believed he wasn't dealing with ordinary criminals, but with masked fools, which required decisive action. So, a phone call was immediately made to the Department of Aberration Defense.
Well, it's not surprising. But what do we do now? Our guide ran off, and we got into a fight with Sparxie's fans. I guess our shopping plans for today are down the drain. Should we give Himeko a call and fill her in on what's going on? I guess you're right.
No need to rush, you two. I bet you haven't tried the local delicacies yet, have you? How about this? I'll take you both to grab a bite nearby. That way you can kill some time while waiting for your friend.
Oh, yay! My stomach's been growling like crazy!
Color reproduction, 96.2%. Brushstroke reproduction, 93.6%. Conclusion. On the physical level, my reproduction has reached the appraisal threshold. This forgery can now be considered the authentic piece.
Yet you still seem dissatisfied. Tell me, what troubles you? Is it that less than 4% margin of error? Or something beyond the numbers?
I'm grappling with a quality that defies measurement. Artistry. It is the prerequisite for becoming the steward of this Arcadia.
But you already are its steward. Diamond will remember that you only took 6 months to claim that title.
It was 5 months and 15 days. Empty titles mean nothing. In plain Arcadia, political influence carries limited weight. To add a stroke to this artwork, one must first understand art.
I know you. This is the conclusion, not the cause. The piece before you, Worldbreaker Waves, is a relic from one of the civilizations in Ahatopia's history. The final work left behind by Graphia, the ancestral painter of ancient Benzai Tengoku. Legend says she performed a miracle, conjuring an entire plane of existence and sealing the whole world within her scroll. Do you want to know how she did it?
I will not deny it. People call her achievements a miracle, meaning its true nature remains unknown. In other words, it is an unexplored market. Understanding comes first, then investment. That is the natural order.
Perhaps this is why Diamond chose you. An Intellitron devoted to results and efficiency. cast into a realm sustained by imagination. The 10 stone hearts await a metamorphosis. May you find your own pearl in the strange and dazzling sea.
Thank you, but my mission is to oversee the progress of the Phantasmoon Games. Personal growth is not part of the task. Jade, allow me to point this out. The 10 stone hearts are 10 independent decision makers. Your attempts to bind people together will only prove counterproductive and bring needless loss. As always, I follow the optimal choice. Neutrality. That is also my answer to Obsidian.
A flawless reply. Your cool logic is always captivating.
Lady Pearl, that Express Navigator has come to see you.
It seems we no longer have the leisure to speak of art.
This is all I have to say. Tell Diamond, I will fulfill my duty of strategic investment. Send the guests in.
Both of you, please, come in. Forgive the sudden visit, and thank you for receiving us.
It is not sudden. In my deductions, a visit from the Express crew was an optimal choice for achieving effective communication. I am glad. Everything is proceeding smoothly.
To skip the formalities would be best. I imagine that, at your core, you're already well aware of our purposes.
I know that you have come for the Anti-Destruction Alliance. The probability of refusing the proposal stands at 91.2%. Can you tell me why? That is a reasonable concern. Allow me to present data that is often overlooked. In the past 2 eras, 1,263 planets have joined the pan-cosmic trade system, and 63% of them have preserved their native civilizations. This is the result of the Strategic Investment Department's work. Plain Arcadia is one such world. On this land, the preservation and the elation coexist in harmony.
That remains open to debate.
I recognize that throughout this war against the destruction, every participant may experience moments of doubt or retreat, but based on extrapolations, we believe by following the route of the Trailblaze and building upon the framework of the preservation, we shall gather the manpower of the harmony, the computational strength of the erudition, and the military might of the hunt. The threat of the destruction will ultimately be eliminated. Hesitation breeds instability, and instability makes us vulnerable. And our enemies will exploit every crack to break us apart.
Your point is valid, but allow me to note one error. That number, 91.2%, is inaccurate.
Then, is the probability of rejection 100% in your eyes?
No, it is 0%. Interestingly, the difference between 0 and 1 is also only a matter of perspective. We did not come to refuse the notion. On the contrary, the Astral Express seeks to work with you.
This outcome exceeds my extrapolations. Tell me, was it a change in your emotion that led you both to shift your decision?
No. Actually, your earlier perspective inspired me. The IPC deals with powers that command billions of lives in this cosmic game of cards. The Express had always been insignificant compared to them. We've simply been earnestly trailblazing and exploring all this time, trying to help worlds in crisis. Now it is this earnestness that has drawn many to journey with the Express, while the Nameless's simplicity assures our friends that they will not be consumed and lose their sense of self. That is why we came to you, Miss Pearl. Please set aside your role as one of the 10 Stonehearts and imagine this possibility. To fight against the destruction, there is no need for an alliance. What we need is to stand by each other. The IPC may not stand as an ally of the Express, nor might the Strategic Investment Department. But you can. Work with the Harmony. Calculate alongside the erudition. Help aim the arrows of the hunt. And build the steadfast shield of the preservation.
Then, what part does the Trailblaze wish to play in all this?
We shall become the sail.
The ship's sail? That sounds no different from my former proposal. Interesting. Logic reminds me that those words you spoke are little more than rhetoric. However, I will follow the optimal decision. Neutrality.
You mentioned that the IPC has never changed plain Arcadia, and it still follows the path of elation. But in my eyes, plain Arcadia has not been altered because it still has value, just like the Astral Express. the IPC intends to use the Phantom Moon Games to reach out to an Eon and draw them in. Am I right?
That involves classified information. I have no comments. However, since Miss Himiko is open to cooperation, I can share more within reasonable limits. This way, guests.
A place in the world in canvas, called the Phantom Moon Courtyard.
This ancient tree has stood for 1,000 years, blooming only on the eve of the games. According to ancient texts, this is the heart of the Phantom Moon Games ceremony. Eight masks, 8 supplicants. When people don the ancient masks in the near future, the altar will also reveal the masks' forms. Then, the games shall begin. I've been told, Miss Himiko, that Graphia's blood courses through your veins. The messenger of the hunt is here as well at this moment. This ceremony, to compete for the elation, is but a reflection of cosmic politics. In that case, why not use the result of the Phantom Moon Games to decide whether the Express will become a sail or a banner?
We'll consider your proposal. However, to take part in the games, one must have a mask of elation. I assume the IPC has prepared for that.
As of now, the number of masks I possess is 3. With more time, I could obtain even more. In all of history, no one has conceived of a unified command of all supplicants and masks, let alone accomplished that feat. But this time, the IPC intends to regulate the games with our resources and influence.
It is not unusual for visitors from beyond the sky to join the Phantom Moon Games, but the IPC actually seeks to control the entire thing? The Eon of Elation is famed for unpredictability. Miss Pearl, you must take care. This is a word of caution.
It is precisely because Aha is so mercurial that such an elated attempt has a chance to succeed.
Pardon the interruption, Madam Pearl.
The guide you dispatched has sent word. The masked fools have stirred up trouble, attacking him and the express guests. They were separated in the chaos.
That is not surprising. Those masked fools have long kept the IPC in their sights. It seems the Phantasmoon Games have begun, regardless of the Express's choice.
I'll get in touch with those two kids. Miss Pearl, Welt and I must take our leave now, for the sake of security.
Are you both leaving already? I had another plan in mind. To speak with Miss Himiko about the art history of ancient Benzai Tengoku. Especially your ancestors' final work, World Breaker Waves, and her unparalleled mastery of imagenesis art.
I'm counting on you, Welt.
Mr. Yang, please accept this gift before you leave. You misunderstand. To offer the Nameless something so mundane would be far too discourteous. Please, open this case first, and see for yourself. I am aware. Mr. Yang has an expert understanding of robotics. I chose this gift especially for you, and I hope it pleases you.
Graphia Academy? What kind of place is that?
It is a school that trains artists, and it's quite well known in this world.
We need to wait for someone there? Do you know the way, Miss Kuchiba?
Allow me to guide you both and ensure your safety along the way.